another episode of Natural Mojo, where I'm sharing life's lessons and its power from the great outdoors. Welcome. Now, this week, I am excited to talk about this topic. Last week, I talked about a powerful spiritual talk where I talked about bending reality. Now, today, I want to talk a little bit more on the business side of things. As you know, if you've been following me for any length of time, I also help my clients with personal branding and promotion. And one of the topics that we always sort of dance around or wrangle around until we can get them to that place and it's comfortable for them is talking about their brand, their personal brand. And a lot of people get confused by what that means. They either feel it's just for businesses only, or it sounds superficial, or something that is made up and it doesn't mean anything, or it doesn't sound real. Now, here's the interesting part about this. We all have a personal brand, whether you're aware of it or not, whether you're working it or not. Now, in today's society, where when people want to know who you are and what you do and what you stand for, what's the first thing they do? The first thing they do, the minute you leave their presence, they get on their phone and they start Googling who you are. Have you Googled your name to see the digital footprint that you've left behind? Now, whether it's intended or not, you do leave digital footprints behind. So why not be intentional as to the type of footprint you're leaving behind? So when people go looking to see if they want to do business with you or they want to hire you in any capacity, whether it's through a corporate position or as a freelancer or anything like that, or a consultant, they're going to check on you to see what you have left behind, whether it's your social posts, your tweets, your articles, what you belong to. It's all there for the world to see. And a lot of people think, oh, well, I don't do social media, so I don't have a digital footprint. You're there somewhere in some capacity, okay? So to me, your personal brand is a living entity that is your responsibility to do something about. So let's just leave that on the table there, your personal brand. Now, the context in which I'm bringing today's episode about is finding how you're going to show up, especially if you are a solopreneur or a small business or an influencer. All right. And you're struggling to determine what your business is, what your niche is. Well, this is in its simplest form, especially if you're a coach or a mentor or anything of that capacity. The business that you're in is the business of you, the niche of you. A lot of people are trying to be in the personal development business, or the skincare business, or the fitness business, or any of these things. Now, why are they even in that business in the first place? The first thing that happened was that they had some sort of result in the thing that they're trying to put out to the rest of the world. They got healthier, they got fitter, their skin improved, they were able to write their book. And the minute that they completed these tasks, what do they think of doing? They want to try and help other people do the same, get the same results. So they start monetizing their journey. Now, hear that. They start monetizing their journey, or they start sharing their journey in some form or capacity. And that's the point. How that person got their results is not the same as how I got my results, even though we might be in the same realm. There are a ton of people talking about personal development, talking about living your best life, speaking about overcoming. I am in the realm of courage and confidence. I mean, we could go on. You click through social media, and you see the memes going up on TikTok and Instagram about courage and strength and power and spirituality, and all of these topics are being talked about, because we've all touched them in a certain way, but nobody, and I say nobody, has touched it in the way that I have touched it. Now, that's not an egotistical thing to say, because nobody has touched it in the way that you've touched it, because it's unique unto each of us how we engage with the energy and the power of life. I decided to tell my story. How many of you are still sitting on the fence about sharing and telling your story? No, your story is not going to be my story, but incumbent in my story, inherent in my story, buried deep in my story, is some portion of something that is going to be resonating with you. I share my stories the way that I do, or the quirky things I do as Pamela on my way, or even the van life things that I do out here. I share these stories because I want you to hear a path. And part of that path is something that will be you will be able to feed off of and be inspired by and pick yourself up and go do in like manner or similar manner. And again, it will never look like mine. It's like somebody giving you a recipe for an angel food cake. And you take that recipe and you put all the ingredients in. And each time you do it, it's slightly different, isn't it? Because you might have been off on maybe the baking soda or whatever it is you throw in these cakes, right? You will have your own recipe. I want you to create your own recipe, but first by having a vision and for the end of your life. I only know one thing about the end of my life for sure. I will die at the end of it, as you will die at the end of yours. But how do I want from that point to this point and everything in between to be? There are a million things I can choose. But I am choosing to design my life in a particular way. And that design is my path, is my journey, is my purpose, is my story, is the business and the niche of Pamela Sylvan, the Mojo Maker. This is my brand and the thing that I put out in front of people and I monetize as a business. I storytell all through the spaces and places in which you find me. That eventually brings people in to say, you know what, Pamela, I heard what you said. Even though your journey is different from my journey, I heard that, like you, because I will share that with people, I was stuck. I was near death. I lost everything. I gave everything up. I moved across the country. I started over. All of these things, people, like, there are a lot of people going through similar things. The things that I pick up, the books that I read, the experiences I have, the friends that I have, the mentors that I have, all of these things are similar to what many people are picking up and reading and engaging with and speaking about and watching and so forth. So there are a huge amount of people that want to listen to people like myself that have gone through those trials and tribulations. Not everybody needs to hear what kind of energy it takes, what kind of creativity it takes, what kind of spirituality it takes to overcome that which I had to overcome. But there are a lot of people that need that. Again, maybe not in like manner, maybe they didn't end up in the hospital time after time after time, but they understand the frustration of their life not getting and going in the way that they wanted to go. I was that sit in the corner of your couch type of gal. I was that person that was drinking too much in her dressing room because I felt frustrated with my life and I didn't know what to do. I was that person that fell apart. I was that person that wanted to give up. I was that person that gave it all away and moved away to restart. Not everybody will do that or want to do that, but I bet you there are millions that do. There are millions that want to take a piece of that story. So I become a niche of one. I become the niche of me. There are no more Pamela Sylvan Mojo Makers that had that particular story. But we all have the same kind of yearnings and the same issues and the same either health issues, the same financial issues, the same relationship issues. I mean, issue after issue, they're all familiar. They're all relatable. So look at your story. There are so many people out there that are encouraging you to share your story, tell your story. Storytelling is where it's at, right? But so many people are afraid to unfold their story because you know why they're afraid to unfold their story? They're afraid of feedback, they're afraid of the comments, they're afraid of all of these things, and that's just the way it is. There are people that are going to have something to say about your story. Let them say that. But if one person says anything negative about your story, think of the hundreds and thousands that are going to line up to hear your story and follow you. So I'm speaking to those of you that are on the verge of thinking about this and would like to start the business of niching down into the business of you. You have a story to tell. You have walked a path and you're still walking the path. I'm still walking my path. If you've been following me lately, you know all of a sudden I'm doing the whole van life thing. I'm traveling the roads. I'm doing extended road trips. I'm discovering new and wonderful places right now. I'm in a beautiful town called Chemainus on Vancouver Island, and it's a beautiful place. It's the home of the world famous wall murals. There are tons of wall murals here. All right? But all I'm saying is, look at monetizing. Yes, monetizing for those that want to figure out how to bring more abundance into their life. You are commodity. Your story is the commodity. How you overcame your story is the commodity. Many people think, oh, well, they need money to overcome their situation. I didn't have money to overcome my situation. I gym squeaked my way through it. If you want to know what gym squeaking is, you have to follow me through. It's almost the same as bootstrapping, but a little bit more MacGyver-ish, if you will. And it's a fun story. In places it's kind of high drama. You wonder, ooh, what happened? Well, for one, I survived. I'm still here speaking with you, but there were a lot of twists and turns to the story that got me here. And I had to bring on a lot of resiliency, confidence, and courage to get it done. Here I am, sitting in a sort of little park square in Chemainus, giving you this talk. Not comfortable because people are walking by. You probably see people walking by and they're all staring at me. Who's this odd woman speaking on camera and being all animated about it? What's going on over there? People don't tend to like that. They get uncomfortable about doing this. People are uncomfortable about being on camera and being animated and using their hands and doing all kinds of things as strangers walk by. I got over that. I had to practice getting over that. I had to practice getting over myself so I can reach those that need to hear my story, my solutions, that they can incorporate their way to solve their solutions. And in like manner, they know that there's someone else out there doing the same thing. We all seem to feel that it's only us that this thing is happening to. Not true. There are many people that are going through issues right now. Each and every one of us, we're just on different paths of the journey. I'm sorry, on different parts of the path of the journey, right? And you might be looking at somebody maybe 2 and 3 steps ahead of you and saying, oh, how did they do it? Success leaves clues. That's why I'm here. I'm leaving clues and breadcrumbs all over the place. Some are free. I'm trying to give as much value as I can for you. Some will be paid courses. Some will be subscription plans that I have for my communities, whatever. But I'm giving you the goods. And I'm keeping things as low as I can for you to get in there. Sometimes all you need to do is be surrounded by like-minded people who are brave enough and courageous enough to follow the path to the end. I'm working on the end goal. I'm working on to the day that I no longer exist in my life. And what is that supposed to look like? It's got nothing to do with anybody or how they think or they feel or the feedback. And, I think those people are laughing at me, but it doesn't matter. I have a vision. I have a goal. And we worry so much about the good opinion of other people. We keep ourselves in the corner of the couch because we're afraid of what strangers think about. Are those strangers going to be responsible for my goals and me enjoying my life and getting the fruits and rewards? No. Why are we worried about what unimportant people think about? The only person that you have to worry about is you. How do you feel about yourself by triggering the results in your life? And it's up to you. But you have to pull your story together. I have some really great people who are pulling their stories together. This is what I do with my clients. I help them pull the story together. I help them trigger it. We create what I call either their brand Bible or their you Bible, and I set them out. I show you how to put this out there so you can start monetizing all the wisdom that you have tripped over and fallen over and pulled together all your life. You're here for a reason. Somebody is waiting for you to show up and start talking and start engaging and start writing or however you want to deliver it. We live in a fabulous time where technology is a click away, that all of this stuff is shareable. All of this stuff is doable with a camera, with your phone, with a good mic, with some editing or whatever. All you have to do is say yes. And if you don't know how to do any of these things, there are a ton of courses available online that can show you how to put this together. I'm one of those people. So down in the comments below, I have a way for you to get in touch with me, to sign up for my newsletter, start following me, go to my website at PamelaSylvan.com. This party started. Your life is here for a reason. All the things that you have gone through, you go through for a reason. Find a solution. It's the elixir, not just for you, but for other people too. And with that, I wish you a wonderful day. I'm going to go back and enjoy the rest of this day. I'm just finishing up my road trip here before I head back home and check out some more of the beautiful little sights and sounds of Chemainus. And I'm just grateful that I finally found my voice. I finally got up the nerve and the courage to get up here and share my story with you. So we'll see you again next week, okay? Bye-bye.